Hi, I'm Richard Mennie, lead engineer at Fireward. Today I'm going to show you around the installation we did of a 15 kg dual with an in-cab monitor on an Case 9250 Axial Flow. Here we have a 15 kg dual agent with a 9 kg of powder and a 6 kg of FFF wet agent. We have 6 powder nozzles coming from 3 discharge ports, and on the foam side of it we have 2 foam nozzles coming from 1 port of the valve. This is the discharge line. It goes through and into the engine, where we can show you some of the nozzle placements. So in the engine bay we have 4 nozzles, powder nozzles. The first one is down here. It is covering the alternator and towards the drive belts. There's also another one further down here which is covering the starter motor. This is the back side of the engine, which is the hot part of the engine where the turbo is. So in this area here we have our foam nozzles. We have 2 foam nozzles which are used to cool super hot surfaces, and one of them is directed towards the turbo and the exhaust manifold, and the other one's pointing towards the exhaust system. Now this covers it in a film that stops it reigniting, and it also cools super hot surfaces. In that area there's also some powder nozzles as well. One of them's coming across the top of the engine, and the other powder nozzle is heading towards the hydraulic area, where we're going to go to next and show you the last 2 powder nozzles. So in this area here, you've got a lot of pumps, hydraulics, drive belts with bearings, etc. We have a powder nozzle at the top and also a powder nozzle at the bottom here, pointing down towards also where the batteries and electrics are. As discussed earlier, there's also one from the engine bay that comes in the back. This whole area gets quite hot and is at high risk of catching fire. Now we're going to talk about the detection tubing. We've got tubing links up the cylinders and the in-cab box, and it comes along into the engine bay like a halo. It goes round the top of the engine bay at all the risks of fire, and it will detect the fire and suppress it on demand. You can see the detection tubing with the red line coming across the top and working its all the way down towards where we've got an end of line. So in here we have the in-cab monitoring panel. This has got a green light to say that it's got power and it's ready to go. If it had low pressure, an amber light would come on, and if it had discharged, the red light would come on. If you have a fire and you want to activate it, you simply pick up this lever and press the button below, and that will discharge the system. On there's also a little magnet that isolates the sounder beacon once it's discharged.